How's it going, guys? Welcome to the Two Penny Games Piggy Bank, your favorite casual gaming podcast with my casual gaming buds. My name's Phil. I'm your host for this lovely show that we record every Monday afternoon Central over on twitch.tv/2pennygames. But of course, if you can't catch us live, you can catch us every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Central over on youtube.com/@2pennygames and all podcast services of your choice. Of course, I'm not alone here. I am with my two best friends in the world, one of them being Mr. Connor Elliott.
I usually say something that's not just hi, because that's very boring, but I can't think of anything. So, hi guys, how you doing? Happy Monday. Saturday when you're seeing this, most likely, because no one goes to the Twitch channel. Because who watches Twitch?
Across away from him, we got Mr. Tavin Bothel.
What's poppin', players? How are we doing today? Everybody talking?
I'm pretty good. Sorry, I took a little sip. I took a little sip of my Red Bull.
I'm disappointed in your lack of energy this week.
Hey,
guys,
fuck potential. I am the better me, as one.
That's a rap thing.
One Tyler the Creator said.
You love Tyler.
Hit song "Sticky"
and everything he stands for.
Does he stand for something bad?
I do like no. I do. I don't love Tyler. I like Tyler. I like him a lot.
He's funny.
I don't love him. He is funny. He is funny.
But this isn't a rap show.
Gonna bring me a birthday gift on my birthday with a birthday gift on a brand new birthday.
Yeah, was that part of his skit show that he did? I know because he had one for a second, didn't he? No, you don't remember?
He did have some show or something, online or something. I don't know the details about that. I always knew about Tyler the Creator. I didn't get into Tyler until he started taking himself a little more seriously musically. And so that's
oh my god, can you let me do what I'm trying to do?
Yeah, so yeah, well, that was on some, I don't know, cooking show or something that he guest on or something. I don't know.
Yeah, he did a cooking thing.
He's
done a lot of things.
Yeah, and he speaks about it in an interview or two about how he made a really cool music section and then went outside and somebody recognized him from some joke that he made online and he's like, this isn't what I'm known for. I want to be known for making the music. Flower Boy, and then Igor,
yep,
and then Call Me If You Get Lost, which was my favorite Tyler album until the most recent one. I like this most.
It was called
Chromacopia.
Chromacopia.
Yeah. Bangers on that one. Bangers. Fuck.
Yeah, you were listening to him for the first time. Usually you never talk about him. So
not the first. I mean, yeah.
The first time you
Tyler's an artist that when he drops, I always give him a listen. And if it connects, then it does. But often it doesn't. Igor is the one that everybody that he blew up with and got mainstream popular with. I don't care for that album. It just sonically doesn't work for me. Flower Boy's okay. And I liked Call Me If You Get Lost a lot just because I like when rappers rap their ass off, and he was rapping his ass off on that album. And so Chromacopia is a bit of a mix of his weird alternative music plus rapping, and I like that. That's a great place for him to be for me.
Makes him more unique, I would say. Someone who doesn't listen to his stuff.
It just feels more fully realized to me. It truly feels like he's in a level of prime that he has not been in before. A lot of Tyler fans not as hot on Chromacopia as I am, but I can't control that. I just hey man, I like this album. Good album.
Well,
what was I doing before this podcast? Thank you so much for asking. So after I got home from work, I ate some food, and then I made it roughly halfway through Alien Resurrection.
That's the one with
that's the one
Winona Ryder.
Yeah, with the Winona. Okay. You having a good time? Yeah.
This movie's so fucking goofy, dude.
Dude, it's a Resident Evil movie.
Yeah, everyone's talking like a fucking cartoon character.
Yeah.
Ripley's playing fucking b-ball, bro.
Yeah, man.
And then she bounces the ball into what's guy's name? He bounces into his balls.
Oh,
actor.
Hellboy.
Ron Perlman.
Ron
Perlman. Ron Perlman. Yeah, he bounces it right into his balls.
That's the best you got for that movie?
Is that where you are?
No. I'm past that. I'm halfway.
Okay.
What happened most recently is
You get to the iconic Ripley line.
who do I have to fuck to get off this? Yeah. Who do I have to fuck to get off this ship? Very iconic Ripley line.
Very iconic Ripley line.
She would say that.
The most, yeah, she would totally say that. That's totally the line that Ripley would say.
Yeah. I prefer get away from her, you bitch.
Joey, yes.
I don't know.
No.
Both of them are pretty equal.
Or literally anything she says in the first two movies. Like,
so, did you get to the underwater scene?
No.
Okay.
Oh my god. Yo, shout out to that one girl in that movie for just having a great ass.
Dude, they they lingered on a shot of her ass for like 3 solid seconds.
I know, and it's fantastic. You know, good for her.
Good ass. No, what just happened was right before. I think that was like the last coherent dialogue I heard, and then it made me have to go void my bowels. Was the who do I have to fuck to get off this spaceship?
You ever watch a movie so bad you gotta go take a shit?
Yeah. But right before that, the leader of like the
pirate,
our little team here, the pirate crew, he got disemboweled by a xenomorph.
Remember, that's when I walked in. It was during that scene.
Leader, pirate.
He leaves the group, right?
Yes. That's right. That's when we get the Ripley line, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm saying that happened right before. Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
We
he
do
gets
reply to
disemboweled
chat.
and then Ripley. Yeah.
Shout out Beastie Bia 18 in the chat. Bill, why are we here today?
We're here because this is our casual gaming podcast where we talk all about video games, what we've been playing, what we look forward to playing throughout the week, play mini games. This week we have more of a discussion topic, kind of like I think it was. It's been about a month back now that we started doing our best PlayStation games, but we're going to talk about Switch games today over the entire lifespan of the Nintendo Switch from 2017 to now. But before that, I kind of want to get into what I've been playing. Just Kingdom Hearts, Kingdom Hearts.
Same with us. Can't really talk about that. We have another 3 weeks until we talk about that game.
And me and him beat it. So
we beat it.
Yeah, y'all already done.
That's it.
We're done.
I am towards the end of Agrabah.
Oh, okay, you're far.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You're far in right now.
Yeah.
I know. You getting midway?
I've played the game several times.
Connor and I couldn't put it down.
You could not put it down. You're looking forward to every single moment.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I started looking at the trophies. I was like, oh man, what do we got going on here? It's a crazy trophy list.
Well, I'll let you deal with that. You go, you twice, didn't you? Didn't you have like a?
No, I've only gotten the 1 platinum.
Oh, okay.
For the first Kingdom Hearts game.
You need more. So much work goes into that platinum. So much fucking work.
We'll get it done some point.
But yeah, Kingdom Hearts. We were playing that.
PS3 version also probably has a different list.
I don't think it does.
Sucks. For platinum gamers.
Yeah. So make sure you subscribe so that you can get our review on that in early April.
That guy having a dimple?
7th.
Yes.
April 7th.
You're the one without glasses. Yeah, you got a little dimple. Yeah, you got a nice. Yeah, you got a.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't know if that was slang for something.
No, it's a dimple.
Okay, yeah.
How do you not know what a dimple is?
Well, I know what a dimple is. I just don't know. People on the internet, they say one thing and it means another. You never know.
That's true. People on the internet do say things that it could be interpreted as. That is true. That happens.
Like how I want to beat you in the head with hammers. It's only something I'm saying.
And really, you just want to hug me.
Yeah, exactly. Two different things.
Give me a
multiple hammers.
Fat, wet kiss.
Multiple hammers. I was helping a friend move this past
hammer,
weekend, and I got a practice in. I was hitting the hinges out of the door, and so I can just I can hit very accurately now.
I'll take the door
to get a fucking goddamn couch through. Yeah.
If you beat somebody with multiple hammers, do you usually go for? Are the hammers the same size? Or are you doing two different size hammers?
One with a wooden hammer, one with like that like rubber kind of hard plastic material.
Or more of a mallet.
Yeah, see which one breaks first. And then start using the other one.
Definitely the mallet's going to break first.
No, it's not a mallet. It's like It's just a hammer, but it's not like a wooden or metal handle. It's
gotcha.
that weird type of. I don't know what it is, but
Say rubber, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. I think that one would probably hold up better than the wooden one. But what do I know? I've never done it.
All right.
Yeah.
What have you guys been playing?
Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts, and
That's
after
all?
I
You
got
haven't
done
played
with
anything else?
Yeah, I have. You have too. Shut up.
I've been toying around with stuff, but
I jumped back into Persona 3 Reload, trying to beat that before it goes off Xbox Game Pass. So whenever we play it on our game club, we'll play the original one, it seems like. And I would want to see what that one plays like, but probably the new one's the better way to do it because it's just the same exact game from the old days, but way more enhanced, visually appealing. So if I got it,
why would we go?
Yeah.
Why would we go all the way back to the original?
What is your deal with what is your pussyfooting deal with this
Whoa,
fucking?
whoa.
Just play a goddamn video game. Why are you so insistent
How was
on
that
playing a
pussyfooting?
fucking?
We talked before about how we're going to do Reload. What?
It's about.
We will.
I've said before, P3 matters probably the least, right? Right. But every time we talk about a video game and it happens to be old, Phil's always like, oh, let's just play the remake. That's a different game. That is not the point of the game club.
Well, it is the point.
No, the point is to play games.
We're just going to get
and if
to
we're
that
gonna,
point later
yeah.
with the Reload.
Oh, so you guys have rather just played the original Silver version, not Soul Silver?
It's a different game. But you're the one who told us to play that version. If you wanted us to go back and play the original Red, we would have played that.
Also, would it have been kind of difficult because there's always two different Pokemon games, so it's kind of just all summed up with Soul Silver? Because there's Silver and there's another.
It's no.
Soul Silver and
Connor.
Heart Gold.
Oh, that's how. Yeah,
they're both remakes of the original Silver and Gold versions of the games. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that was a case where there was a special version to play that.
What you're thinking? No, it's not. What you're thinking of is Diamond, Pearl, and then Platinum version being the one that combines the two.
Okay.
There is no one that combines the two. We just chose one.
Oh, okay. I see. Well,
also every Pokemon game is the god.
It's a slight difference. Different legendary Pokemon, Tavin.
Oh wow, fantastic!
It's true.
We should play Legends Arceus.
Hey,
I'd be into that.
Yeah. Fuck it. Why not?
Yeah.
Fucking, I'm hyped for ZA. They got my boy.
Yeah. Well, is that the one with the stupid looking main character designs?
Probably.
They got leaked recently.
They all look stupid.
Not leaked, but
I mean, I was gonna say, can it be leaked if there was a full trailer that showed?
Yeah,
them?
it wasn't leaked. But either way, it was stupid looking. The main character.
I didn't think they were stupid
it's just always just a dude in a t-shirt and a hat
and a girl in some similar outfit. Yeah, and this one sucks. What do you want me to do?
I mean, it's exactly it's the same design every time.
It's not the same design every time,
motherfucker.
I don't agree with what either of you are saying.
But have them. Well, I guess I'm not the Pokemon.
It's just a character with a hat and a fucking t-shirt.
Those hats
I don't agree with what
stupid.
Connor was saying about them looking bad, and I don't agree with what Tavin's saying about them all being the same.
Because that's objectively not true.
All right, they changed some colors around. Great, it's
not
different
even colors. They changed the whole design of the outfit. In the old games, you couldn't tell, but in the new ones, you can. But either way, Persona 3 Reload.
And Tavin has not played anything else because he's dumb.
I've been playing around more Monster Hunter Wilds. The more I play that game, the more I realize that you probably shouldn't talk about that game in an educated way until you beat the story because they just keep giving me new gameplay mechanics and stuff to fuck around with. So I'm nowhere near knowing what the actual scope of that game is. And then I've returned to Death Stranding. I want to beat it before the next one.
Fair reason to.
They said August?
August, yes. No.
June. For Death Stranding?
Yeah, June.
Yeah, June.
August is Delta.
August is Delta. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's June.
They both come out on the 28th?
They might. I just know Death Stranding comes out in June.
Way to get ahead of them, Hideo. That's petty. That's petty right there.
Well, do we want to rank these stupid games?
I mean, the top 25 aren't going to be stupid.
Yeah, it's stupid. Because the Switch is notoriously a bad console with bad games on it. I remember.
I mean, if we were to listen to whatever that list is that you pulled up last week,
exactly overrated.
Yeah,
that's my point.
Apparently,
but I mean, I still kind of get what they were saying with it, but I don't really agree because they were just kind of forgetting core Switch games, which, I think I know what.
It was wild how much
things.
they super generalized. Like they acted like it was the Wii with all this fucking shovelware.
Literally. I mean, there's a lot of shovelware on the Switch now. I'll put an asterisk on my statement earlier about Pokemon characters. With the exception of the first Legends Arceus game, all of these guys look the same. Legend Arceus, they went for more of a time period look.
Yeah.
So, anyways, what are we doing?
Only one thing.
Well, Tavin, it's your thing. You brought it up.
Okay, so we are. Here we go. So, gentlemen, as you and I both know, the Nintendo Switch 2 is on the way. We are getting a full breakdown presentation this April about it. So we are closing the book on the Nintendo Switch 1. I thought it would be a good time to go ahead and look back, have a little retrospective on the Nintendo Switch, its lifespan, in its totality. Now that we're pretty much there. There's not another major title coming to the Switch 1 that will be identified as a Switch game, right? Like Metroid Prime 4, and that's probably about it. But that's going to be considered a Switch 2 game when it comes out.
Yeah.
So now, gentlemen, I thought we could take a look back and sort of do what we did with the top PlayStation games, and just sort of all right, let's talk about the big hitters and what would be on that list, and what would we define as the top 25 Switch games. Obviously, quality, fun, playability, all of those things are involved. But the Switch, because the last topic was a little more general in the sense of it was a brand that has survived 30 years. Whereas this one, we're on a single console. So I wanted to sort of establish a couple of ground rules into it. And I'm working with this with you gentlemen in real time. Because the Switch has a lot of games on it. Games on it. And so I was curious as to how you gentlemen wanted to tackle this on what should get priority on this list. Because there's some great games on Switch, but they are not exclusive to Switch, or they came out on PC first, or they came to other consoles later. And that type of thing. Specifically, my example that comes to mind is Hades. Whereas Hades, for consoles launched on Switch, had been on PC through early access and so forth. But 1.0 was on Switch. But it eventually came to other consoles. You can play it fucking everywhere now. So I'm sitting here and I'm I don't... we can have a conversation about Hades, but I think because it started on PC and because it went to other consoles, it should lose points in this conversation, for example.
Yeah, definitely.
I think we should include the game if it plays the best on the Switch.
Oh well, then Hades is not on this list.
No, it plays.
You don't think so?
well.
No, I think it plays the worst on Switch.
Maybe the worst.
Yeah.
I mean, all in all, I would say that's true. But
PC and PlayStation have eat the Switch's lunch.
But it's not
every day.
Like Doom 2016, where you really just shouldn't play it on Nintendo Switch.
Oh, for sure.
Hades isn't a degrading experience enough, and it's offset by the fact you can take it anywhere. And the replayability aspect gets strengthened more than any other console, except maybe Steam.
You're not replaying.
Now there's the Steam Deck.
Nobody's replaying Hades, except for Phil.
Replaying Hades? Doing it over? A lot of people replay Hades. That's one of the key features of it. People who, it gets a large audience.
Being a roguelite is not replaying a game. Just because the key gameplay loop is starting over does not make it replayable.
Well, you're putting a very specific condition on replaying means.
That's just progressing through the game.
But at a certain point, you don't even get the progression anymore, and then some people do start over. You have a very particular hang-up with the beginning of the game being really slow, but I find it very easy to get into.
The overwhelming majority of players do not beat Hades. They don't beat roguelites.
But you could do it so many times, and we're people who play games a lot. And so for the average person, even the average gamer, they're not even going to finish it, I think, a lot of the time, but they're still just going to be able to play it and do something.
I know, I just get hung up every time you say replayability, because that game, to me, has very poor replayability. Because just because it's a roguelite and you die and go to the beginning again, that's not replayability. Or you beat Hades and go again. That's not replayability. Like that's just continuing the game.
That's definitively replayability because those are situations where you leave the game
story doesn't
and then you
start
come
over.
back.
The story doesn't start over. The mechanics don't start over. You're not starting from zero again. You know, when you do start from zero again, you're having less fun than if you had just picked up your save file and kept going. Replay. Do it again from start. More than not, people don't do that with roguelites in general.
Mm-hmm. I still think you're kind of weird with your definition of replayability, specifically in how you play the game and consider replayability.
It's only with this. It's not a new game plus that you're doing. It's not it's not a starting from scratch that you're doing. You are literally just continuing your playthrough. Your playthrough is just longer and it is centered around a loop.
Yeah.
So it's one playthrough. You were playing it once, unless you do hit start over again.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
That's a replay. Whereas a roguelite is literally just I'm just continuing. I'm just progressing forward.
All right. Well, I won't get hung up on this.
We totally diatribe. We're totally off the point. So back to the top Switch games list. I think we should obviously focus on exclusives to the console.
Mm-hmm.
And it being a Nintendo console, I think we should focus on Nintendo first-party stuff more often than not. But, there are third-party or there's a Platinum game or two that belong on this list,
Astral
Chain's pretty good.
Astral Chain, yeah.
Astral Chain's pretty good.
It was slept on from my understanding.
Bayonetta 3 is done by who?
Platinum, yeah.
Right?
They've done 2. Yeah, because 1 was originally Sega, and then from 2 they went on to Platinum.
That's what I thought you were reaching was for Bayonetta.
Yeah.
There's 2 and 3 are both on the Switch.
Yes.
So, I have the list pulled up. You can see it right here. It's a little foggy just because it's all blown out and so forth. But here, let's just
Platinum games.
Yeah, we should just start listing titles first, right? And I mean, there's an easy probably 10 that we could name real quick, right?
We can get really high to 25 games while only being Switch exclusive. There's a pretty good chunk of games.
You think we can get to 25?
We can get close to it, but I think
we can easily hit 25.
I just think at some point, some multi-platform ones, the quality of them are going to come in and say, well,
I think once we start getting to that like 17 to 19 range, we're going to start scratching our heads and being like, for specifically for exclusives.
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo exclusives,
right?
First party exclusive,
which is most likely going to be.
So, all right, let's go ahead and get the the obvious and boring ones out of the way. We're going to do Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom,
Mario Odyssey,
Tears of the Kingdom, Mario Odyssey, Mario Wonder, Smash Ultimate. I'm gonna write down for now. I'm gonna write down Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Yep,
definitely.
Where it ranks in the list. We can have a discussion about that when it comes time for it.
Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Yep.
Metroid
Dread. Good one, Bill.
Hype faster, dog.
Animal Crossing New Horizons.
New Horizons.
Yeah. The pandemic game, the sick game.
I
just had one.
I think Luigi's Mansion 3 probably in this convo somewhere.
Yep.
Splatoon. There are 2 Splatoon games on Nintendo Switch, being 2 that it launched with and 3. From my perception, 3 is the big one.
It is. I think we should put both on there, but
okay.
Still,
I'll put.
I think we should also put Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Yeah.
Yes. Very good, Phil. Xenoblade.
Right now we have 1, 2, 5, 6, 11, 12, 13 games. Unless I miscounted.
Counted both Splatoons here.
I did.
Pikmin 4.
Yes, that was the one.
Pikmin 4, yep.
Kirby Forgotten Lands.
Yep.
Bayonetta 2 and 3.
2 was a Wii U game.
Was it?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Well,
I'll put 3.
2 still has a version for Switch.
Yeah. All 3 games are on Switch.
Oh, okay.
But 2 came out
late.
Wii U era. I think like mid.
Do you want
That's like a 2014 game or something.
Yeah.
Do you want to include Mario RPG and Paper Mario?
Say Mario RPG?
The remakes, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And Thousand Year Door.
How much of a remake are they again? Are they pretty substantial?
They're pretty one for one. They're
Okay.
pretty one for one. I think we can put them on the list now, but I personally feel like because they are so one for one that they're not going to live here long.
Yeah.
Do we put Origami King on this list, Phil?
I didn't play it, so like I don't know. Maybe you should put Link's Awakening on there.
Link's Awakening should be on there. I think that should rank higher than the last two remakes that we did, just because there was a lot more work put into that to make it new. Echoes of Wisdom, I think, could possibly be here.
Yeah.
Fresh my mind.
Echoes of Wisdom, yeah.
Did we want to put up Octopath Traveler?
That's an interesting one, Connor.
Yeah.
I
think so.
Not an exclusive, but is tied to the first one specifically is tied to the Switch. So we'll throw it up there. Triangle Strategy? I don't think so.
I think it'll.
I was gonna say there's an interesting case for Sonic Mania.
We're doing Triangle Strategy if we're doing Sonic Mania.
There is an interesting case for Sonic Mania. I just think I don't know. I think Sonic Mania might be a little too multi-platform. I don't even think Octopath is going to make the list when it's all said and done, personally. Because there's other games. I mean, like we haven't
Mario
touched...
and Rabbids.
Oh, that's a pretty good one. Do we need to talk about a Mario Party on here?
Yeah, I would say between Super Mario Party Jamboree, and what's the Superstar Saga or Super? I think it's just Superstars, Mario Party Superstars.
I think we pick one. I'll leave that to you, Phil.
I mean, I like Jamboree the most.
That's the new one, right?
Yeah.
I don't think any of the Mario sports games can be here. Tennis Aces and Golf were both super disappointing. Super Strikers, people weren't into either.
Conversation. Would we want to put, because it was such a big deal, Skyrim? Skyrim on the go.
No. But that was a big deal.
you could pull a fucking bow and arrow back.
You could do that.
Yeah, that was a big deal. That was important to the launch of Switch. But no, I don't think so, personally.
Have you guys ever heard of a game called Snipper Clips?
Oh God.
Snipper Clip.
Yeah, you don't remember this?
Tetris 99.
Oh, fucking good one. I am writing down Astral Chain. I don't expect it to make the list. Tetris 99 is a great pull. Do we want to do Mario 35 or the F-Zero one?
No.
Okay. Running out of exclusive titles here, if we haven't already.
It's like, what was that fucking game called?
We have exactly 25 right now with games that I don't foresee staying on Switch or on this list.
Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Oh, God, we got to talk about some Pokemon. Okay. Phil, Legends Arceus, do we do Sword and Shield or...
I think Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet should have spots on this.
All of them?
I mean, bunch them. Put Sword and Shield as one, Scarlet and Violet as one.
Well, of course, yeah. Okay.
Now we were trying to like
any of the Let's Go games, Phil?
I mean, honestly, I would put Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee as one over Sword and Shield and possibly Scarlet Violet. I think Scarlet Violet deserves more of a spot than Sword and Shield.
Even you're putting Scarlet Violet over Sword and Shield even through the launch problems?
Yes.
Wow. I'll write down Let's Go for now.
At this point, we can make it a list of only exclusives.
I mean, that would be the hope. That would be the idea. Is there anything, gentlemen, that like you think? I mean, Fire Emblem Engage, I would say no.
Yeah, no.
How do we feel about Stardew Valley?
No, well before the Switch.
Well before?
Yeah, that's like a 11 game? 12?
These things get so jumbled in my mind. It could easily
This
be.
is very popular on Switch.
Stardew Valley.
But that's because it came to Switch
2016.
Oh, really? That late? Is there like an early access thing with that game?
I'm finding out now. It was
I don't know.
2016. Yep.
February 26, 2016. So a full year before, but you know.
I feel like I played it early high school for the first time on Xbox.
No shot. Absolutely no way.
I think with what we have here, we should just stick to exclusives.
Mario Maker 2?
Oh, yeah.
My instinct is no, but
Why not?
I would also say no because like, yeah, I mean,
didn't really make a moment.
Uh-huh.
Wasn't really a moment. Kind of.
Yeah.
It's just kind of there. Good game. Really good game. I liked it a lot, but it was just kind of there. Sort of reignited my passion for 2D Marios a little bit. I totally forgot about Snipper. 1-2 Switch.
That's exclusive.
Well, so I think at this point we should just start ranking them, and then as the list fills out, we'll decide from there. Because I'm assuming we're going to start with the top. Agree with which should be the best Switch game.
Sure, all right, fine. We'll fucking appease you.
Well, I'm just asking.
How dare I ask you to stretch your intellect a little bit and have a conversation?
I think at this point we're just going to be debating.
We need to have a conversation about Hades.
I think at this point we should just do Switch exclusive games. That's what we're on the path for, you know.
Why are you putting on a voice?
And I'm just trying. I'm trying to explain them.
I just think we should gotta just. Ooh, Tavin.
Yo,
this is such a normie pick, but Clubhouse Games Club 51.
That's not a normie
What the
pick.
fuck? What?
Yeah, what is that?
Clubhouse Games 51 Worldwide Classics is like super good.
What is
what
it?
the fuck is that?
It's like it's a like board game collection that you can play just on Switch.
Shout out.
And it's actually so good.
See, that's why we fill out the list, and then hey, maybe it should be on here. Maybe it's of good enough quality.
All right, so we know.
What about 1-2 Switch?
What about 1-2 Switch, man?
I
What
can't-
about ARMS? Shout out ARMS.
I think we know those aren't going to be on this list.
Fire Emblem 3 Hopes.
Oh, Fire Emblem Engage, dude.
Yeah, if we're doing 3 Hopes.
I already said Engage, and I was like, nah.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, he executed that idea.
Well, I think we would put Engage before 3 Hopes.
Would we?
I don't know if we would. I wouldn't.
I would.
Have we played 3 Hopes?
I've played the opening hours of it.
Oh,
Quality.
Same.
I don't have any base of reference. Oh, is that the Dynasty Warriors?
Yeah, that's the Dynasty
Oh,
Warriors.
yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I've heard that was fun. Like
It was
those
good.
games
It was
are
a good time.
fun.
It was fun. It was good.
But yeah, it wouldn't be on.
Didn't
this
hold
list.
my attention, but it was a good time.
Yeah.
You know. All right. So we already know what the top 5 are generally going to be. So I'm just gonna list them in random order for right now.
Bowls. Oh, okay.
And then we can debate. Mario Wonder and Animal Crossing.
I'd say Fire Emblem.
I like Fire Emblem more. I would say Animal Crossing ranks higher than Fire Emblem.
Well, I guess at that point, what are we debating? Like, what's more iconic as a Switch title, or what we would say is the better game?
This is always the conversation that we got to do, and to me, it's the sliders of like impact, quality.
It's Animal Crossing above Wonder.
I agree with that as well. But the conversation was Fire Emblem.
Yeah, my core issue here is I find, at least this is someone who hasn't played either of these games, so your guys' frame of reference is the superior one here. But I feel like just putting Mario in multiple slots above Fire Emblem, mainly because it's just the Mario title, just seems to kind of undermine the quality of game in favor of, well, it's Mario. Like, Legend of Zelda has that, but I think definitively, if you were to go out and ask most people what are the best Switch games, I think you'll constantly see Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild in number 1 or 2 slot. As you wrote it down.
I think both of those are top 3. Mario Odyssey's in there.
Yeah, Mario Odyssey, yeah, I can agree with that, just not Mario Wonder. It didn't seem like it also had that much of an impact.
Yeah, I would put Mario Kart where Mario Wonder is.
Before Mario Wonder, yeah. Because
it's just Mario Kart 8 again.
It is.
And I'll submit to, but nobody played Mario Kart 8 when it first came out because it was on the Wii U. And also, they doubled the size of the game. You're essentially getting an 8.5, right? And all of the upgrades that came with Deluxe, the holding 2 items at once, and sort of the little like accessibility improvements that they made for it, like self-driving and so forth, like in auto steering.
Holding 2 items at once, that's been a thing.
It wasn't in the original Mario Kart 8.
It was in Double Dash.
What? I was going to say it was definitely in Double Dash.
Yeah, but it's only in Double Dash before that.
That was the whole thing.
Because you're 2 characters, so you're holding 2 items.
That's weird. Okay. I could swear that's been there for since the DS.
No, I'm fairly certain it's only ever been 1 for every game.
It might have been on the DS.
It might have been, but I'm fairly certain it was only 1. I know for a fact Mario Kart 8 launched with 1 item.
And I know the original Mario Kart.
And I'm pretty sure Mario Kart Wii did the same.
Yeah. Either way, that is definitely in the running as well. I think that in terms of just the game quality, I'd put Fire Emblem Three Houses above it. And I do recall in 2019, despite the fact it wasn't really nominated for stuff, when they had the Player's Choice Award, it won that year in 2019. So I think that does say something to the quality of the game, that the one area where it was put forth as a major contender for one of the best games of the year, and it won, even over games like Sekiro.
Listen, I'm with you. Fire Emblem Three Houses is my favorite, my favorite Switch game.
Sorry, I had to do some research. It was different for Mario Kart 8 that you could only hold 1 item.
Oh, they had been on 2 for a while, and then they switched it for 8?
Yeah.
Bill, the Mario Kart master. Guess we have to defer to his wisdom.
Even on Wii? I thought for Wii being
Even on Wii.
Mm-hmm. Glad they fixed that, because it's so much better with 2.
Yeah.
So much better with 2.
Way more fun.
All right, well, let's have a conversation about these top 3, right? I would say, undeniably, for me, it would go Tears of the Kingdom, Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild.
I would agree with that.
I could see an argument Animal Crossing above Breath of the Wild. I think that's a little crazy just based off of impact.
Breath of the Wild over what?
Animal Crossing over Breath of the Wild. I could see that. But how do we feel about that, gentlemen?
I would put...
No, I think it's Tears of the Kingdom, Odyssey, Breath of the Wild.
I would put Breath of the Wild on top, since that was the more preferred game when it even came out, among critics and fans alike. Because that was a year where they both went head-to-head, and the conversation was definitely more on Breath of the Wild than
You're talking Mario Odyssey.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you meant like on top in general.
No.
I think Tears of the Kingdom changes the conversation.
It does in terms of which one's the better Zelda game, but even still, definitively, when you put the other 2 games head-to-head, Legend of Zelda came on top.
Gonna put me in my Breath of the Wild hater badge.
I know, I am. I get what you're saying with that, but just in the same way, I would definitively say Mario Odyssey is above Fire Emblem Three Houses, only because of the Mario name. I think Three Houses is a better game from what I know about Mario Odyssey. Again, haven't played it. I just don't think Breath of the Wild, with how well received it was, deserves to be under Odyssey.
But I just feel like
I'm fine with Odyssey being at 3rd.
I personally feel like because Tears of the Kingdom exists, like you can't go, like it's difficult to go back to Breath of the Wild. Like Breath of the Wild feels so limiting.
Sure, yeah.
Even more so than I already think it personally is.
But it did set the baseline for Tears of the Kingdom only exists because of Breath of the Wild. I doubt they would have been able to get it as they did with Tears of the Kingdom.
They put out a tech demo before they put out the real game. Fantastic, you know?
Hater bag, you said it.
You know? That's like another series that we're going to talk about.
Connor, as much as I love Three Houses, it's not going above the 7th slot for me.
7th?
7th?
I think the only other thing that justifies...
That's insane.
Yeah, I think the only thing that would beat that other than, of course, Odyssey, Breath of the Wild, and Tears of the Kingdom is Animal Crossing, since it just kind of...
Phil, name the 6 games better than Fire Emblem Three Houses.
For what we're making right
Yeah.
now? Okay, Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, Animal Crossing, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and Smash Ultimate.
The biggest... Oh, so here's my biggest issue with Smash Ultimate.
I'm not giving it to Mario Kart, and I'm not giving it to Smash. I'd like to, but I'm not. I can't.
The reason why I say so as well is because Smash is amazing. It's like it would be very high up above the ones you just described. At least I would give it the opportunity to be. But that's really when you have somebody else to play with. If you don't have an internet connection or a friend by your side, will you pick up Smash Bros? I would say no. You know, nothing really in that game drives you to it. Whereas there's something like Fire Emblem Three Houses, you can play that game, you know, the campaign 3 separate times.
Now, I'm gonna use it as a pro later on, I'm sure, when we actually get to ranking Smash Ultimate. But World of Light sucks. Like as a great cornucopia of content, yeah, for sure, and for really taking advantage of Smash Brothers gameplay and like twisting it on its head as much as you can. Cool, like creative for sure, but like not really that fun to play. And like Fire Emblem just has that like quality, its content, and I do think it has enough impact to be there.
Let me stop this because like if you don't have an internet connection, how are you watching this video? So like I feel like
that's such an irrelevant argument. What are you talking about?
I'm just saying
we're talking about a list.
He brought up the fact of playing it solo, where it's like we're making this for the 3 of us. It's not for whoever. Oh, Johnny no mates. You know, it's
sure. Well, I'm talking more.
I would make the argument that the argument of being if you play the game solo, it's not
fine.
As
if you don't subscribe to Nintendo Online, then there you go. You happy with that? Like,
I never played. You can still play with friends. Like
I situationally. That's the key thing where it's not always a thing you have when you're playing Smash Ultimate.
I don't load up Smash Ultimate outside of a party setting.
All right.
Or to train when I was younger.
All right.
I was a young boy.
I
7 years ago.
I love Fire Emblem Three Houses.
No debated.
It's
I just
not
don't.
as good as the other 2 games I mentioned.
I understand why you're saying what you're saying. It's just, well, I still would say that Three Houses on a technical level is better than those games. But even then, just by the nature of how Mario Kart and Smash Brothers work, you don't get the most out of those games unless you have someone specifically to play with.
Mario Kart being in top 10 is crazy to me.
Really?
Yes, because
that's crazy that you're saying that.
It's inherently a port. Like there's not really a lot new with that game. Even the maps that they gave us later are all remakes of maps that were in previous games, you know?
Not true.
Like this is a Wii U game that got a couple of cool upgrades. So like I understand its impact is on Switch. I understand the Deluxe is doing a lot of heavy lifting with this title. I think it's enough to make it to the list, but like only because you have to give it a pass because of how bad the Wii U was.
A solid percentage of the booster course maps are original.
Are they? I don't.
Yes.
What?
So a solid percentage of the maps are new.
Are you talking about like because they had DLC, which is another thing to take into consideration?
The booster course pass.
That's what they're called.
Okay.
Saying.
So yeah, they didn't.
The booster course pass. They added extra maps that were first ever seen in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
I remember that.
Is that true? I thought they were all just remakes.
Because
Mario Kart 8's default list is a lot of remakes.
Most of them, yes, but a solid percentage of the booster course maps are original maps.
My big thing about Star Wars Deluxe, I don't know if I'm not necessarily agreeing with where you said it's
Star
going,
Wars.
Phil.
I don't know how we got there either.
Sorry, Smash Brothers, SS. Not like the Nazi SS, but the SS for video games. I just find that so many people played it after it got ported that it's kind of hard
I'll
to
be fucked.
let people know of, where the hell, it was on Wii U. I had to think about that because it's just so synonymous with the Switch at this point. And it did double in size and have a good rollout of content as the years went by. But I think we should start ranking 6 to 10 now because are we solidified on this top
I don't
five?
even think we landed on this. So did I lose this? Did I lose Mario Odyssey at 2? Did I lose that fight?
I thought Phil agreed with. He said
No, I said I'm fine with it at 3 because I wanted to move on.
Wishy-washy, can't ever commit looking ass. Fucking trying to
I literally said it. I said it 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, but commit! Make a choice!
But
Vote!
But he was consistent right here. He was consistent.
Don't, when we do this, do not ever go, I'm fine, whatever. Don't ever do that. Make a choice. I don't care where the choice is, just make one. Don't ever be like, oh, I want to move on. No, make a choice.
Do you remember when we were talking about the most iconic characters and you would not shut the fuck up about Parappa the Rapper being so fucking high up on the fucking
Because
ranking?
you were wrong!
No, I was not!
What was the issue again? I can't remember.
You weren't here. The past fucking Piggy Bank. You were not here.
Rare?
I think it's the one of like maybe 2 or 3 that you were not.
I think we've done 3 without you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. There's also Jack and Daxter. He wanted Jack and Daxter top like 8 or something. I was like, come on, what are we doing? What are we doing?
It was a lettered tier list, so it wasn't a matter of that's number of things.
He wanted Jack and Daxter in like an A tier or something. I'm like, okay, hold on.
It is the Jack.
And you wanted
and
Parappa
Daxter.
in. Oh, okay, I'm not gonna. Get
I don't know where I wanted Parappa, but wherever I said he was is where he belongs.
Nope. And I had to concede because he was being such a fucking dumbass about it.
Right, but we didn't have a tiebreaker, so I had to argue it. So, but there's 3 of us here. Connor's voting Odyssey at 3. I'm voting it at 2. I think it's a 2. Like,
a really bad score. I think it's a 2. So I think it should be at the bottom of this list.
No. Yeah, you're super funny. Yeah.
I'm funny. Funny.
What else? Fuck. What was I saying?
Put it at 2.
Put it at 2.
Fuck you, Connor.
Somebody here has fucking sense.
Like, you gave into the Breath of the Wild hater, and you think he's being the objectable one?
Gave into the Breath of the Wild hater. I fucking love Breath of the Wild. It's not nearly as good as Odyssey or Tears of the Kingdom.
I'm putting Breath of the Wild at 3.
What's that?
I'm putting Breath of the Wild at 3.
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild wouldn't even be in top 10 in my list.
Yeah, but that's because you're pushing it down because you hate it. It doesn't matter if it's in number 8 or number 2. You pushed it down.
Well, with that Animal Crossing below Breath of the Wild?
Yes.
Okay. And then, I genuinely, I think you go Fire Emblem here. Yeah. Like,
Phil's shaking his head, but
there we go. So let's move on.
I made my stance clear.
Let's move on to 6. Are we going Smash at 6? It's just, I personally kind of am leaning towards Mario Wonder. Personally,
no,
but it's Smash Ultimate. It's the definitive way to play Smash, even with the conditions I said earlier. It's Smash, and it plays the best that Smash has ever done, at least in our opinions, and clearly many others. Not to mention it's the best way to play it online.
I'm mad. Let's scroll back up and see what we got. All right. All of these guys are gone. Placed. Smash placed. Fire Emblem placed. Animal Crossing placed.
I was getting ready to fight on some of these.
I may have been a little dramatic about Mario Kart not being in top 10.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, thanks, man.
You look at that list and you're like, there's games that are not going above that.
Okay, well, all right. Well, let's have the conversation of the games that I think are coming up next. To me, it is Mario Wonder, Metroid Dread, Splatoon 3, Pikmin 4, and maybe Kirby are the next like batch that I reach for.
Pikmin. So I think everything except
Phil, if a Pokemon needs to go in that list, then let me know.
Yeah, be like You'll be the
No,
driving force on
they
that.
all belong outside the top 10.
Okay.
So
I move for number 7 to be Tetris 99.
Interesting.
An argument.
There's an argument.
Mhm.
There's an argument.
I think it should be Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Mario Kart is that's the definitive title on Switch.
I don't personally see how you put Mario Kart 8 above Metroid Dread, Mario Wonder.
You just do.
And I think you could have a conversation that Tetris 99 should go above Mario Kart.
That was a big moment as well when that came out, but it didn't have the same wave, the consistent wave that Mario Kart 8 had. I just think that's always been a flagship title on any Nintendo console, and people really like this one.
Yeah, yes, but but we're doing Switch games. Is this a Switch game?
Yes.
I lean more no than yes.
Yeah,
For what reason?
Because it's 90% a port.
Yeah.
Like with a couple of
they
cool
added-
upgrades.
When it got added on, you got more courses, you got more characters, and then you got the DLC. You got even more shit.
So
It's
if we're to name
definitively a better game.
like I just don't see DLC as as that much of a booster for a title, especially when it's just added to a game that's just a port. We got new iterations of every other franchise, and they're all
the amount of
many of them are
courses.
great. I think it doubling the courses just gets it on the list. I don't think it gets it this high. Because I would rather a new, also great experience.
I just
You're out
can't
of touch.
shake the fact. You're out. I just can't shake the fact
It's not even Thursday.
just as associated with the Switch it is. I get what you're saying. I totally do. It's just, if you go ask most gamers, they'll be like, that's a Switch
You
game,
think
right?
Nintendo Switch? You think Mario Kart?
I don't disagree, but like we are more educated. We should be having a more educated conversation than your average person.
Well, to bring that up to compare it somewhat, obviously it's a different type of game, but Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom play extremely similar. The biggest difference is just those mechanics that let you play around with the world and the expansion of the map. It does it in a way more interesting way.
Yeah.
And the gameplay does change a lot more, the base gameplay, compared to Mario Kart 8 to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Yes.
But even still, that's why those games are higher above. And
Tears of the Kingdom basically adds a second map underneath the first one.
on top.
And on top.
It's like a quarter of a map.
Oh, yeah.
And then actually puts a story in, like an actual good story into the game, as opposed to Breath of the Wild, which is just run around. And then those mechanics that are added, sure, you can talk about how you swing a sword is exactly the same, right? My point is that part of the game sucks. But the Ultra Hand and the Ascend and all that changes the game entirely. The game is no longer climb a mountain, swing a sword break, all that. It is, I'm building a literal plane. Like in this video game, like I'm building a plane myself and getting it to work and flying across the map. Like I'm gluing these Lego pieces together to solve a puzzle in my own inventive, creative way. Like that's why Tears of the Kingdom is what it is. When we reviewed Snake Eater, I was like, the game is so ingenious in how it allows you to handle that. I think Tears of the Kingdom is the first or the best example of letting the player control how they solve situations, like in comparison to Snake Eater.
Right.
You know?
I just think with those improvements, because obviously they are far more substantial, that's because of the type of game it is, whereas as a Mario Kart game, even with the new one that's coming out, they'll certainly add features, but at the core of it, it's going to play very similar to Mario Kart 8.
If not exactly the same.
Yeah, so it just, there's a lot less to play around with in that frame of game. And so working from that base model, they did what they could, which is added new maps, which, I'm assuming...
Do y'all think we're doing the gravity stuff again in Mario Kart 9?
Yeah.
I don't see why they wouldn't when they could, what's stopping them?
They did it already. What stopped them from having two players in a cart?
They would just add on, and at that point, they would just add on to things. Like they could do the gravity plus whatever other stuff they're doing.
I was gonna say,
At the same time, they could have done the 2 characters again and added onto that. They chose not to. That's what Nintendo does. They don't repeat themselves.
What?
I mean, they definitely repeat themselves.
Oh, sure, they do
all the time.
But like they very often like give it a new thing. Like Tears of the Kingdom is not as much as you want to make that argument, Connor. Tears of the Kingdom is not a repeat of Breath of the Wild. Like,
no, it's not.
They do something drastically different in Tears of the Kingdom. They reuse the map.
Is what they do. They iterate
and they redo how you play the control.
They're not gonna. I don't see them. Sure, you could cut to 6 months from now, and I'm completely wrong, right? But like, I don't see them taking out the gravity in that, like it changed the way they approached making these maps, right? Like
for sure,
you see the levels from different angles as you go through them.
There's more spectacle going on.
Yeah, I don't think that's something that they take away. I think they iterate on it and add other things. I think the main reason we don't have the Double Dash like game mode is because I think Nintendo looks at Double Dash as the black sheep.
Yeah, it's a broken game. Like it's not balanced.
That's why I don't think we've gotten that. I think they look at Double Dash as the black sheep, as wrong as we may think that is. That doesn't change their position on it.
I also think I'm curious. Maybe since so much time has passed and Deluxe has become the definitive version of the game, but like when 8 came out, there was a percentage of people who didn't like the gravity and the hang gliding and all of that stuff. They felt
hang gliding was introduced in 7.
It was. Regardless, they didn't like all of these different elements because they felt like it was doing too much and taking away from the racing. I think they're wrong because it didn't really do that much different from any other Mario Kart game. It just put you upside down, which from your own personal perspective, you may not even notice if you're really dialed into the racing.
Which, to that point that you just said,
you're going to use it as an argument against me somehow. I don't see how because that was all Mario Kart 8.
No, not necessarily. In fact, I'm going to agree with you.
Yeah.
That is true. It did not do that much new from the original one. Of course, they worked off the base model of the non-deluxe version before they added all the gravity shit and whatnot. But I think the other game that would be above that and above Mario Wonder, because you can argue the same thing. What do you do with Mario Wonder? You turn into an animal. You play a Mario game where you become an elephant. Whoa, big whoop.
Really fun to be an elephant.
You know what changed up the model, but still went back to its roots? Metroid Dread. Which is why I think.
I mean, that was my conversation. I think Mario Wonder and Metroid Dread are above Mario Kart. That was my.
I don't think so.
I'm just saying Metroid Dread's above both of them.
I don't think.
As someone who has not played any of these games except for Mario,
who has zero experience.
Yes. But, Metroid Dread seemed a more definitive. Like, whoa, this is a return to a game that hasn't been around for a while. It's fresh.
All right,
new.
all right. Let's make. Do we agree? Those are the next 3 games.
Yeah.
Mario Kart, Metroid Dread, and the last one.
I mean, Mario Wonder, yeah. I mean, I personally think there's probably argument for other games to be higher, but than Mario Kart. But if y'all are gonna, force it to be here, it is where it is.
I think we go Mario Kart, Tetris 99, Metroid Dread, and then Mario Wonder. Or no, sorry, switch Wonder and Dread. So Dread should be the number 10 in my eyes.
I think Tetris goes above Mario Kart also.
No.
Because it's Tetris, the 99 gimmick, adding that sort of like Battle Royale-esque feeling to it. I mean, it was a big multiplayer moment. It was kind of the multiplayer game on Switch until Splatoon 3 came out. I mean, you could argue Splatoon 2, but I think Tetris overshadowed that personally.
It's Tetris.
Where are you going?
I'm thinking. Because, I'm claiming, as once again, someone who hasn't really played a lot of these games, and I'm not the biggest fan of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I'm just pushing forward for it because it's as recognized as it is. I would say it goes Metroid Dread.
But in every one of these conversations that are ever held online, there's always the conversation of, yeah, but it's just a port.
Mm-hmm.
Like that happens all the time.
See, my biggest issue here is I haven't played a lot of these games. So I don't really.
I've heard none of that talk when specifically talking about Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Then you need to listen to more people.
Like I've heard nothing but positive things, myself included, about Mario Kart 8
It's a great game. Nobody's taking that away. My point is, it doesn't belong in the top 10 of Nintendo Switch games because it's not a Switch game.
Well, technically it is, which is why we're playing it.
It's a game on Switch. There's a bajillion games on Switch. At that point, let's put Final Fantasy VII at the top of the fucking list.
What's at the number one of every single Switch store page?
The highest selling game that's on Switch, which is Mario Kart 8. Yeah, because they want everybody who buys a Switch to buy Mario Kart because everybody bought Mario Kart. Capitalism, Phil, not impacting quality.
That does go to impact. Quality, not so much.
Impact and most definitely quality.
No. Hogwarts Legacy got a bunch of money. That is not a high quality game. As someone who hasn't also played that game either, but that's beside the point.
For normies, absolutely it was.
Mario Kart 8 is the number one Wii U game. Like,
now you're being disingenuous. It's the number one Switch game.
It's not a game on this.
You're being such a pedant.
Not a Switch game.
Pedantic.
Pedantic. That's the word. Okay.
Well, I mean, pedant is the former like if you are being pedantic, you are being a pedant.
Yeah.
So, Connor, I need you to make a choice here.
I would say just because of the fact that it was originally on Wii U.
You're such a pussy.
Mario Wonder because it's a Switch exclusive.
You're such a pussy.
It's I can take it either way. Listen, I haven't played Mario Wonder.
Or he's not a fucking idiot.
We know you can take it either way.
Hey, watch it, buddy. Well, you're not wrong. But
he's calling you a pussy. I'm calling him an idiot.
Yeah, I know. But I'm engaging with what he said.
Yeah.
The thing is, at least Mario Wonder is completely exclusive. And that's just the one thing I can hang on now, not having played one whole game. Because I could argue from an objective standpoint that Mario Wonder is a better game than Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I probably would say that if I had my hands on the game, but I didn't. So
if I'm just talking quality and how much I like it, they're about the same.
Yeah.
But it's not a Switch game. In my opinion, it didn't do enough to justify it as a new release. It did enough to be on this top 25 list. Not here.
So I guess Phil's shaking his head, so I think we know the trajectory of this.
Well, what's next here? I agree. Well, now we have the Tetris conversation.
I think that goes right below Mario Kart. I think even with the fact that Mario Kart is originally on the Wii U, both those games are very much online-centric, and it's clear which one is overwhelmingly predominant over the other one, even years later. I just don't think you can beat that at that point. Mario Wonder, again...
We thought we were going to get to all 25 of these in one episode.
That's funny.
Fuck, we are at an hour. Jesus Christ.
We talked about games, and then we...
So we all agreed Tetris 99 above Metroid Dread?
I would agree with that.
Wait a second. No. I said Metroid Dread over Mario Wonder. You misunderstand where I was coming from, Tavin.
Well, then you're getting outvoted.
What?
No. Hey, where are we putting? We're putting Wonder at 7?
Yeah.
That's silly. But okay.
That's where I would put it. I would put Wonder above Smash.
False.
Clearly he's false because he got outvoted. And when you get outvoted, it means the person who was on the winning side is correct.
So where are we putting Dread, Phil? Connor's putting Dread above Wonder. I'm putting it at the bottom of the list as it stands right now.
Well, at this point, I
made the argument that it belongs at 10. So
I would still push for it to be above Tetris 99 as far as like a Switch game.
No.
You guys just played that a bunch. You're in your memory hole.
Tetris 99 was huge.
It was for a time.
Tetris 99 was. Tetris was bigger than Metroid.
Let me break out my top 10 games of 2021 real quick for you, Connor.
Connor's point is that's you. That's not.
Yeah.
Metroid Dread was my second thing on the list. So it's not like I don't think Metroid Dread is quality. I think Metroid that
I never argued that
is better.
I never argued that. I know I'm debating. I am arguing against your claim that it is not better.
You're making these arguments from a basis of non-education. You haven't played the game.
So I'm just going to be confident and say it with gusto. And it's someone who doesn't play those games but doesn't talk about it confidently. I'm not going to be that guy.
Bill, I'm going to have to look to you here.
So you're coming from an arrogant standpoint.
Yes.
I'm gonna for what's next.
An ignorant one.
For what's next?
Ignorant
Phil,
and arrogant.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to look to you here. To me, now the conversation go, and maybe a little bit you too, Connor. Did you play Xenoblade 3?
No.
Okay, well, to me, it is now Kirby, Pikmin, Splatoon 3, and Xenoblade.
I would make the argument that it goes Pikmin next. Then,
Unless someone wants to make an argument for Bayonetta or Luigi's Mansion, but I don't think you.
no, I think it goes Pikmin, Xenoblade.
3.
What was the next one? Sorry, Pikmin, Xenoblade. What else did you say?
Splatoon 3 and Kirby for me.
I think it goes Pikmin, Xenoblade, Splatoon, Kirby.
I think I agree with that. But what do you got?
I think Splatoon goes next.
No.
Make the case.
I think it's same exact thing as Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It was one of the mainstay games to play online on Switch, and it sold massive numbers. And I just see that as being more predominant than how much fanfare Pikmin got.
Splatoon 3 is the biggest and I would argue the most impactful game out of these games that we're saying, but I wouldn't say it's the best.
Have you played Splatoon 3? I haven't.
No, I just am. You played Splatoon 3?
I have not.
Oh, okay. I'm just recognizing the impact of it at that rate.
I haven't played 3 specifically, but I played 2. So.
I'm not mad at putting Splatoon 3 next, and then that order that you had, Phil, of and Pikmin, Xenoblade, Kirby. Crazy that Pikmin 4 is as good as it is.
Yeah.
It's really fucking good.
Yeah.
So much so that I still think Connor's wrong for arguing for a game that he's never played.
What did we just say, Phil?
Fucking,
Arrogance, ignorance.
There's more than just our personal playtime here, Phil.
I'm at no point am I saying that Splatoon's a bad game.
So give me more reason as to why these other games should go above it.
You have more grounds to argue.
I have a higher hour count in my library.
That's not an argument.
Did that not come off as a joke to you? Like
It did to me. But I'm
Thank you, Connor.
All right, fine.
My humor's advanced to where I can understand other people's humor.
I don't actually have one, so if it ends up being Splatoon next, it's fine.
Okay.
I feel like the only reason that you come to that is because Connor made the case when he doesn't know anything about it. Like
I'm coming at
then make a case, Phil.
Yeah, you
I don't have one either.
My case is from the perspective as somebody who hasn't played it, but who's attached to the industry. And so I'm going off of what I know people talk about. Splatoon 3, I hear, like Pikmin 4, it was super welcomed by Pikmin fans and people who got onto the franchise, especially because
Myself
they had never
included.
played a Pikmin game.
Yeah.
But Splatoon 3 has been in the zeitgeist to everybody. It's, it shows up at sporting events I've seen before.
Yeah.
It gets tons of advertising.
I mean, it was the fucking, like, the Ink Kid was the focus of the announcement of Smash Ultimate.
It's very definitive at that time, whereas Pikmin, I'm not going to argue against the quality at all. And it, of course, had a lot of attention to it, just not compared to Splatoon.
It's all right. You guys are just a couple squid kids.
Well, as Phil said, you could make the argument of, like, what's objectively better about Pikmin compared to Splatoon? Like, because I understand you haven't played 3, but...
Big fans of calamari.
I
am a big fan of calamari.
Probably one of the best appetizers you can get. Kirby. Yeah, Kirby I always forget about.
Big game.
Yeah.
Big game. All right, so now we got to start looking at a Pokemon, right? Like,
yeah. I think we go Scarlet Violet.
That was a pretty big one. Over Legends Arceus?
Yeah. In terms of impact,
Oh, was it the more impactful?
I would say Arceus after Scarlet Violet, yeah. But
yeah, Scarlet Violet's like one of the best-selling Pokemon ever.
I thought that was Sword and Shield.
No.
Oh.
The Sword and Shield thing comes from what they call Dexit, where they essentially it's play on Brexit, essentially,
yep.
Where Game Freak essentially cut out like a solid half of the national Dex, even though the quality of they gave an excuse as to like, oh, we wanted to have all the Pokemon in the game have the highest quality sprites we could or models, whatever.
They were
when
also
they were
doing
literally
the big Pokemon in that one also.
yeah,
Yep.
and they were directly ripped. Like 90% of the models were directly ripped from the 3DS titles.
Hilarious.
Which, had
You also
more
couldn't
of
bring
the,
you couldn't bring your collection forward in that one, right?
well, that's what I'm saying. Is like
Yeah.
a bunch of the decks was essentially cut from the game.
Okay.
So
So if we go
Damn.
Scarlet Violet,
Sucks.
gentlemen, what are we feeling is next here?
I would
I was gonna say Legends Arceus after that.
Yeah, I was going to say that. That or Bayonetta 3. Because Arceus was like a great experience for Pokemon fans because it was so different from every other thing that had come out.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. My only thought is I just don't like two back-to-back Pokemon
I was
titles.
gonna
But
say you should not have that issue because they're very different games.
yeah.
One, you fight God.
So I'll take that
you
one.
catch him, but yeah.
From here, I'm looking at
Link's Awakening, I say.
I agree. I think Link's Awakening, Bayonetta 3, and Luigi's Mansion are in the conversation here now. And
I would say that order.
Yeah, I would probably agree with that, Con.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to look for another game because I was like, is it
Okay.
Because I was thinking, because we put Octopath Traveler there, right? But Octopath Traveler 2 was also on the Switch. I would say, and it was also better received.
But it
than the
launched
first game.
it launched multi-plat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
2 was
did.
multi-platform, whereas the first one was it like a limit, like a timed exclusive?
It was
for
a time
Switch, right?
exclusive.
Oh, okay, difference. Okay. Well, in that case, I'll push for it, not heavily, but Octopath Traveler was a quality game, and it was,
First big RPG on
Honestly,
Switch.
I'm not mad if we decide to put Octopath like above Scarlet and Violet and Legend Arceus.
no, I wouldn't put it that there.
I could split it. I wouldn't mind splitting it.
You just don't want two Pokemon games.
I
together.
think that's weird. I think it's weird to put two Pokemon games there. Right back.
I don't think it's that weird, but if it takes the fucking stick out of your craw, it's fine.
I mean, I'm not dying on that hill.
I'll be more willing to die on the hill of Arceus just being such a big, like, holy shit, you can do this kind of stuff in a Pokemon game, go in this open world, mysterious.
I personally think Legends Arceus should be above Scarlet and Violet, but I deterred to Phil here because
So did I.
He played the games and actually knows the level of quality here.
No, I think like me personally, would I put Legends Arceus above Scarlet and Violet? Probably. But I think the general populace would disagree with me.
Fair.
So
I think they're pretty equal in my eyes.
what game were we talking about here? Octopath?
Yes.
Octopath, yeah.
Octopath before Link's Awakening and before Bayonetta.
Yes.
And that was the thing I was bringing up because I'm leaning there. But
I
again,
think yes.
I agree with you, Phil. That's partly because I played Octopath Traveler.
Yeah.
I didn't play the other two. So I'm willing to defer. It just from my perspective.
I don't know if Octopath had that impact of Link's Awakening.
Sure.
It did. I think it did. Because my brother-in-law played a shit ton of Octopath, and he's my gauge of like what normal people.
Gotcha.
I see.
All right, I'll relent on that one. Octopath.
Even more than him, he's more of a gamer. My other brother-in-law, who I've met on a total of maybe 4 times, he's played even more Octopath.
Damn. I guess that's surprising to me, but good on you, Octopath. That's why I got a sequel.
I'm just throwing names down in order of what I personally think. If we need to move things around, we can move things around.
Because you're just.
I've never played a Bayonetta game in my life, so.
And I remember 2's the one that takes the conversation of being the best one.
I played a quarter of 1, and I was like, it's quality. It's good. Yeah. I think it's a lot of that like DMC conversation of like, first one's cool, they get it right later.
Yeah.
I think next on the list. Oh, sorry, I don't know if
2 is the fan favorite, but Bayonetta 3 was received well. There was that controversy about the voice actor change.
And I think it was still less well received than 2 and 1. Definitely 2, maybe not 1, but it wasn't definitively
2
better.
is definitively the best, or
Considered.
upheld as the best of the 3 games. But 3 was well received.
No, it was, yes.
Yeah. So what was the conversation here? Is bring Bayonetta down?
Oh, I wasn't arguing.
Luigi's
that.
Mansion 3 is held as the best Luigi's Mansion game, but it's a Luigi's Mansion game. You know what I mean?
Those are pretty, but those are like, that's a nice, fun gameplay loop from the first one. Not loop, but gameplay experience.
How much Luigi's Mansion 3 did you play, Phil? Did you beat it?
No, but I also haven't heard people say it's better than the first one.
Neither have I. I've always,
I have.
Okay.
Yeah. I think a lot of the first one is upheld by nostalgia.
It might be.
Yeah. It's still a good game, but a lot of it's upheld by nostalgia.
Yeah.
That damn GameCube, man. I can't escape it.
I would still, because Bayonetta, I think, just has more of the right name recognition as this big Switch game than Luigi's Mansion does. But again, that's kind of it's not a big sell. You know, you probably can find a lot of people who don't really know about Bayonetta, but they're familiar with Luigi's Mansion. So, I can find out.
Are we cool with that order?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
I think next we go.
What goes?
I was gonna say Echoes of Wisdom.
Echoes is so weird to me.
I think if we either do Echoes or we do I don't have experience with Mario and Rabbids.
I think we do Mario and Rabbids next.
See, I was thinking you played it, Astral Chain.
Yeah, Astral Chain is solid. It's a quality action game. I didn't play enough to have a fully formed opinion on it.
I've heard a lot of people saying it's slept on from who have played it all the way through.
Yeah, that's always the thing. But I think it being slept on gonna drag it backwards a couple here.
More than Mario and Rabbids, though. Like what's that?
I think Mario and Rabbids. Did the first one have a subtitle?
Sparks of Hope.
That was the second one, wasn't it?
Maybe.
That sounds like the dumbest name for a Mario and Rabbids game.
Yeah.
Spark of Hope.
Kingdom Battle. Kingdom Battle.
That's
yeah,
better.
I think Mario and Rabbids outshines Astral Chain. Like creativity, Mario jumping into a new genre. It's well received. It's a collaboration that like everybody went, what? I have to try that out. And they went and tried it out and they're like, hey, it's actually not bad. Like it's pretty good. Whereas like Astral Chain, quality aside, who fuck talks about Astral Chain,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
That doesn't really matter, you know, popularity comparative to just like at this point in the list. Now at this point, I mean, like, I think at this point the main characteristic is how good the game is, rather than the name recognition.
Like maybe I don't know, but it's not enough to turn off the name recognition slider.
Almost to me it is, because at this point it's like, okay, from how we're ranking that on the rest of this list.
I mean, I never turn off any slider.
Mm-hmm.
Never.
I think when we're getting to Mario and Rabbids, it doesn't really have that much of a meaning anymore.
I don't think you uphold Mario and Rabbids high enough.
I do not. Yeah, I do not. That's like
it's just like
that's like corporate slop game to me. It always has been.
Oh, I think it's better. I think it's a little more like creative and inventive than that.
Sure,
you know. I think arguably it's. I would not say this, but arguably it's Ubisoft's last like creative attempt to be good. You know, like
funny.
You know.
It's an 85 on Metacritic.
Fuck yeah, Mario and Rabbids. Look at you, bro.
Minion.
What was Astral Chain? Astral Chain was like 82?
Let me look it up.
It's going to be like 87.
Watch.
Connor nailed it.
What?
Wow.
Damn. Okay.
Good for Astral Chain,
you
man.
know what? That puts it above Mario and Rabbids. Agree, guys? Agree?
Phil, where are you here?
I haven't played either.
So this is where the ignorance and arrogance comes in, Phil.
What I think more people would reach for, like, oh, that weird like Mario Tactics game for Switch. I think people would reach for that. I feel like I don't think that this is true, but this is the first time I've thought about Astral Chain since I've heard the name years ago.
But you think about Mario and Rabbids every day? Is that
every single day of my life? No, I'm kidding. But
I wish I could have played it.
I've heard more people talk about it.
I mean, one of them got a sequel. Oh, wait,
Exactly.
Astral Chain did have a 2, didn't it?
No,
didn't it? Didn't we get an Astral
I
Chain
don't
2?
think so.
No.
I'm on Metacritic, and I only see the one Astral Chain.
I mean, here's the thing, right? If you take a test group, right, of men and women. Okay?
Kevin, I think you're
Stick with
thinking
me.
of Awaken Astral Blade, which is a different franchise.
That is very
Never
dumb.
heard of that in my life.
So if you show
yeah, there's not a
last
sequel.
year apparently.
There's not a sequel, but apparently, like it's been said to have been in development. I'm seeing things about Nintendo's reboot the project themselves. Sounds like something that got shelved.
Okay, so Mario and Rabbids, you show that combination to a female group and a male group. And I think, stick with me, it's going to be received like the same way. That's Mario and those rabbit guys I've seen on commercials. You get the main character, the male character, and show that to the women, and show the female character to the men. I think when you say, which one would you rather play the game that it belongs to? Because the character designs are hot, then they would say, I want to play Astral and not the other bully.
I don't think people play games for the same reasons you do.
Yeah, I'm gonna side with Phil there. That was a dumb fucking thing.
Let's talk
but
about
I was
a game.
gonna entertain it long enough to say, never have I touched Mario and Rabbids. I have touched Astral Chain, not enough to speak on it in like a smart way, but I would rather pick up Mario and Rabbids.
You see, Tavin, what you're discounting is
mostly so I can be part of the conversation more, because that's a more I'm gonna go the populist route here.
It's a more interesting like idea in my opinion.
Yeah.
To my original point, though, you guys have heard of a game called Concord, correct? Yes, we've all heard of Concord.
What the fuck?
Now, you're telling me
yeah,
that if you had made visually, sexually appealing characters and put them on screen, that people aren't going to flock to it. Doesn't matter if it had, generic hero shooter. You would have seen a bigger amount of people play it if they did
Disclaimer, Connor's humor is extremely dry and it's very funny.
It is dry, but it's also at the same time true, kind of. Look at fucking those but Gooner games.
Connor, that's the thing. Concord wasn't popular. Like, it just wasn't. Everybody was talking about it, but nobody fucking played it. People have played Mario and Rabbids.
And Astral Chain.
More people have played Mario and Rabbids than Astral Chain.
That's true. But, is Concord better than those two games? Probably. So Mario and Rabbids next.
I'm going Mario, and then I'm going Astral Chain. Phil, if you want to put something else here, let me know.
What about Splatoon 2? Because even though we're doing 3, 2 was still super big.
No,
and was just carried on with 3.
I don't think we do 2.
I think 3 is the one that makes the cut, and I think 2 lost to time here.
You guys aren't Splatoon. You're not Squid Kids.
Clearly,
you're not Squid Kids.
Echoes of Wisdom just feels like such a nice 25 to me. But, like, of what we've named, I can't put anything else in there.
How many do we have left?
We gotta put in
3 left.
3 left.
3 left.
Go back up. See what
of the ones we named earlier, and I still think we're leaving something out.
Mario and Rabbids is no longer there. Did we put Astral Chain on there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh yeah, 23. Do we want to do Mario Party Jamboree, Phil? Is that worthy of being here?
I was going to put that as the vote for 25.
And Echoes of Wisdom underneath it?
No, Echoes of Wisdom above. Echoes of Wisdom should definitely be above Mario Party Jamboree.
That's what I was saying. I thought there was another spot we needed to fill.
I'm going to be honest here, guys. I'm throwing in a... You know what, Phil? I'm with you. I think in Echoes of Wisdom, and then I'm pushing my weight behind Fire Emblem 3 Hopes.
What about Paper Mario? Because that was super well received.
1,000 Year Door. I mean, it's a 1-for-1 remake of the original.
Oh,
game.
that's the remake. Yeah.
Yeah. Unless you want to throw behind Origami King, which was like an all right game.
People didn't like that game.
Well, to your point over about Fire Emblem 3 Hopes, I'm of course leaning towards that, but I'm not going to comment on that because I have not played it.
Honestly, I think
or either of those games.
I think we should go. I think the last 3 we do. Number 23 we put Echoes of Wisdom. Number 24 we do Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu / Eevee. And then because the reason I give that as the option is because they had the cool like new mechanic where like you actually throw the balls at the Pokemon, and it had like the cool like Pokemon Go ring, and that's like how you do it. And then number 25 I would say Jamboree.
We're in untreaded waters here for me.
I'm personally I'm personally against Let's Go being in this list.
Why is that?
Because it wasn't beloved by the fan base. It's essentially a remake. It not a full remake, but it's working off of basically that DNA and structure of Red.
I mean, it is the third Gen 1 remake.
Yeah. And in that it's a dumbed down, even more baby version of a Pokemon game. Like, and I just don't hear it talked about ever.
When was the last time you heard anyone besides today talk about Mario and Rabbids or Astral Chain?
Mario Rabbids comes up every so often. Astral Chain remains that, cool, that like cool Platinum Games game that if you know, you know, like it doesn't get mentioned a lot. No, but when it does, it's always like, fuck, that game was dope. All
right, then I make the argument to kind of like, it might be kind of going against the idea of us keeping off Thousand Year Door, but I say we put the Super Mario RPG remake on there, just because like it took it all the way from the original SNES and brought it to modern day for an entire new fan base, whereas Thousand Year Door just went from GameCube. It's a much smaller jump, in my opinion. And I've also heard that there's like a lot more added on content when it comes to Super Mario RPG, the remake.
Mm-hmm.
So that's from what I've heard. I haven't played the game yet, but
Bro had his most eloquent argument for Super Mario RPG, but couldn't tell me why Mario Kart 8 Deluxe deserves to be on this fucking list.
Well, okay.
Where
I don't have to explain myself. So
think that works.
People know. People know.
That was a great argument, Phil. I'm with that. So what did we say? Echoes.
Echoes, Mario RPG, and then Jamboree.
Julio. You have it definitive.
Take a second here, gentlemen. Is anything missing here that we feel needs to be there?
Splatoon 2.
A Hades, a Splatoon 2.
I thought we weren't putting Hades on here.
I'm just throwing stuff out there.
I think
because I didn't have a hard line, but I mean, like that's why I was leaving it to y'all. And when we the only reason we moved on from naming games is because Connor got tired of naming games.
That is true, because we couldn't think of any. I still can't think of any.
I mean, if we include Hades, it jumps to like the new number 7.
And I think I'd rather err on the side of more
higher
exclusives. Because especially Hades was also coming out on PC, early access.
Yeah, it had been on PC for
a long time. Yeah. So I think it's more of that than a Switch, even though I play it always on Switch.
Yeah. All of our first experience was on Switch.
Yeah.
What were the other ones I named? Three Hopes and Triangle Strategy.
We might be sleeping on Triangle Strategy.
We might be. That's the one that I'm looking at like, man, we might be sleeping on that one because that was a quality game.
It was, yeah.
Just needed an editor. It's so bad. Okay. Anybody got a strong feeling?
All
right. No. Moving on then. So, ladies and gentlemen, the list, our official top 25 Nintendo Switch titles, is as follows. Number 25, Super Mario Party Jamboree. Number 24, Super Mario RPG. 23, Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. 22, Astral Chain. 21, Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. 20, Luigi's Mansion 3. 19, Bayonetta 3. 18, Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. 17, Octopath Traveler. 16, Pokemon Legends Arceus. 15, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. 14, Kirby and the Forgotten Lands. 13, Xenoblade Chronicles 3. 12, Pikmin 4. 11, Splatoon 3. 10, Metroid Dread. 9, Tetris 99. 8, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. 7, Super Mario Wonder. 6, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. 5, Fire Emblem 3 Houses. 4, Animal Crossing New Horizons. 3, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Number 2, Mario Odyssey. And number 1, Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
Yep.
I'm not mad at it.
That's the best list I think you'll find this side of Texas.
Let us know what you think down in the comments below.
Finally, we're done with that stupid game you brought. You always have to have one that takes up the entire
I
episode.
told you it was going to... Oh, how dare one of us tries to elevate the content and not just repeat hit 10s for the rest of eternity.
Lame.
But when the hit 10 topics are interesting, you know?
You didn't deny it.
It hits...
Hit 10s are fun.
Differently, 10.
That was disgusting. I hope the microphone didn't pick that up. That was the nastiest fucking thing.
I mean, it definitely did because I heard it over Discord, so...
Well, Discord hears more than Streamlabs.
Oh, does it? Okay. Yeah. Well,
here's
hoping.
I think it did it.
If you think that was disgusting, make sure you tell Connor in the comments.
I'll be there.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, boys, for joining me on this lovely, long discussion topic episode of our top 25 Nintendo Switch games. Make sure to let us know how wrong we are and how wrong these two are for their revisionist history and saying that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe didn't deserve to be where I said it would deserve to be.
I think you're literally the revisionist.
Let me know how correct I was in the comments and how much I know Nintendo and people that play Nintendo games and myself and, women. Thank you guys so much for watching, and make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Check us out everywhere on our social medias down below. Boys, let's go ahead and say goodbye.
Wrap it up already.
Let's talk about top 25 PlayStation 5 titles, Spider-Man Remastered.